Alright, welcome back to V.O.C. YouTube channel. NFL Tuesday. Back up at school. Going back to first in-person class. Wednesday we've been online for the last few weeks. Officially Monday we're going back online. Big time. Back to it. Back to the grind. Slowly back. Jam-packed. A lot of shit to undo. Rodgers, Brady, games. Sean Payton breaking news just happened. So let's jump into it. Like I said, literally this just happened. Sean Payton, the Saints coach, is just informed, this is by Ian Rappaport, has just informed the Saints he's stepping away. There's been talk that he would step away. He's like 3 years on his contract. Now, stepping away, does this mean he's stepping away to take a year off? Or is he stepping away to go to a new team? Like, I don't know. I think he had 3 years left on his contract. But it's really big. A Super Bowl winning coach, has been one of the best for, 16 years now he's been a coach. 15, 16 years since he took over the Saints. The speculation of Dallas is going to come up. That's where he was before with Bill Parcells. He was the offensive coordinator before going to the Saints. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. As a Bears fan, I'd love to have him. Just because of the fact that he grew up in Chicagoland area. I was a Bears fan growing up. But I don't know. You know, in all reality, if Dallas comes a calling, I think he goes. Or I don't know if this is him just taking a year off. I don't even know how old he is. Like, this literally just happened right before I filmed this. I don't even know how old Sean Payton is. He's 59, so maybe he wants to take a year off, kind of recharge, reboot, and then come back. I have no clue. I don't know. A lot. I mean, that's big. That's a big move for the Saints because it's like, you don't have a quarterback. You kind of have cap trouble. Now you don't have a coach. So is this, he's looking at, man, our quarterback situation isn't very good. Our cap isn't very good. We're going to have to start retooling this team a little bit. I'm gone or what? So I don't know. Wild. Just happened. Crazy. Breaking news. First time we've had breaking news like that on this show. Breaking. All right. The Bears have hired a new GM. I'm not going to go into depth on this because you can't really grade a GM until the draft picks or whatever. But they've hired Ryan Poles. Previously worked with the Chiefs. So they hired him. I thought they'd go after the Marquise Brown, I think his name, might be botching it, from the Colts. I thought they would have hired him. But look, Brian Poles, welcome to Chicago. You're better than Ryan Pace already because, it is what it is because Ryan Pace was an idiot. So now it moves forward. Now you have to find a coach. Not a big fan of the finalists they say they have coaches, but now with this GM, maybe stuff changes. Who knows? All right, that's it for breaking news, I think. This week on my picks, I went 2-2. Not great. Not bad either, I keep doubting the Bengals. Look, I just think they're a year too early. I thought the Titans would beat them with Derrick Henry back. I thought Derrick Henry would run the ball, dominate. Didn't fucking happen. Ryan Tannehill fucked that up. I told you the 49ers beat the Packers. I was right. Come on. I was wrong about Tom and the Bucks. They tried their hardest, but in the end, it was not enough. And the Chiefs won like I thought, but that was a great game. Maybe the greatest non-championship playoff game ever. I could argue. It was back and forth, up and down. It was one of those things where you hate to see someone lose that game. Wet the whistle there a little bit. Just an overall great game. All great. All the 4 games were great. They were fantastic. Very fun weekend. But now, after what has happened, now we have some question marks going into the offseason. That's the first one here. Where will Aaron Rodgers play next year? It's a great question. The Packers failed to reach the NFC title game with home field advantage. Rodgers, overall in his career, is 11-10 in the playoffs. Since he won the Super Bowl, which was 2010, so 12 years ago now, 2010, 2011, around that time, he's been 7-9 in the playoffs. If you look at it, they've had two coaches now during this time. Mike McCarthy, who clearly with the Cowboys is not the brightest bulb in the shed. And now with Matt LaFleur, who we look at as, oh, this is a great coach, blah, 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 blah. But McCarthy won a Super Bowl. And we look at LaFleur as, man, he's one of these great young minds, he's blah, blah, blah. Most of the Packers' problems in the playoffs are Rodgers. They just are. I mean, you look at him, he just doesn't play good. He lost to Jimmy Garoppolo. And I get Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play the best game ever, but he lost to Jimmy Garoppolo on the other side playing quarterback. And I know special teams were atrocious, but Aaron Rodgers is good enough to be able to overcome those problems and score. He scored one touchdown. And that was on their opening drive. So since that opening drive, they did nothing. I mean, it is awful. As a Bears fan, I love it. Robbie Gould did it. But it's just, when you have this great of a player and you just can't overcome special teams, come on, man. Like, to me, that is nuts. And maybe it's a Packers thing. You look at, they've had two of the best quarterbacks, two of the top 10 quarterbacks ever played the last 30 years, and they've only had 2 Super Bowls to say for it. And Rodgers only made it to 1 Super Bowl. The one he won. I mean, this is crazy. In Aaron Rodgers' mind, he thinks Green Bay is the problem, and he's looking for a new start to help fix that problem. That's why I think he's leaving Green Bay this offseason. He has given them chances in his mind, and losing the NFC title game or before that has worn him down. I mean, that is the truth. The truth. In his mind, I think he looked at, okay, I'll give you another chance this year. We win it, I'll stay. We don't, we're done. And they took a step back this year. Didn't even make it to the NFC title game. So I think what you look at is, to him, it's like, I've given you all these years, all these chances, and 1 Super Bowl out of it. But in all reality, he needs to step back and look at himself, because their fucking team is loaded. Loaded. Right? And you got a lot of pieces back. Healthy, just, oh man, they got all these pieces back, supposed to be, and then they lose. There's a lot more problems going on in that organization than just, well, Green Bay's failed me. No, they've actually done a pretty good job doing things. Like I said, I think he's going to leave. So here are the top odds. Sports Illustrated wrote an article, piece about, these were the top odds they use. I don't know where they got their odds from. The Broncos are number 1 at 5-2. The Steelers are 2 at 7-2. Then you have the Dolphins at 9-2. The Eagles 11-2. Browns 15-2. Raiders 9-1. Jets 12-1. Don't get that. Panthers 14-1. Saints 14-1. Titans 14-1. Giants 16-1 and Seahawks 16-1. I think where he lands ultimately, I like the Broncos, the Steelers. I like the Raiders just because with the Raiders, you can swap Derek Carr. Packers get a quarterback. In return, they get something in return in value, and Rodgers can go to the Raiders. I would say the Saints if Sean Payton was there, no longer the coach. I'd like the Titans, the idea of the Titans, but here's the problem with the Titans. Ryan Tannehill's contract's too big. And you also have to remember, whatever team Aaron Rodgers goes to, he's going to want a new contract. He's not going to want to play on this 1-year deal that he has with the Packers, or whatever it is. So you have to take that into consideration. But I think the Broncos, Steelers, and Raiders are the top 3 choices just because they could work. Money-wise, they could all work. The Broncos, to me, feel like when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, it's just, we need a quarterback, plug them in, they can be very good. Steelers are kind of the same way. Get a quarterback with the pieces they have, plug in and play. Raiders, they would need a little bit wide receiver-wise, but other than that, offense, they have a tight end, running back. Offense line's pretty decent, and they have pieces on defense. So it's like, he could elevate those teams. So I think those are the top 3 for him. All right, moving on to the next question mark of the offseason. Is Tom Brady retiring? That's the title of this video. I am one of the biggest Tom Brady fans there is. It is what it is. People are going to hate me for it, whatever. Tom Brady is the greatest football player ever to play this sport, right? He is. He's 44 years old, just finished his year 22 season. Had one of his best seasons yet. He threw for 5,316 passing yards and 43 touchdowns. He almost threw his age in touchdown passes. But at this point in his career, this is no longer Tom's choice alone. This is a family choice. He has 3 kids that are in the range of 8 to 14, I'm pretty sure. Tom would love to go out with an 8th Super Bowl to double, I think, everybody else's. Be like, look, I doubled the next closest people, which that'd be fucking unremarkable. He's 7 alone, but if he got to 8, and he's like, look, I doubled Montana, I doubled Bratton, like, I think it would be even crazier. But happy wife, happy life. I think that's all. Giselle has said this now for 5-6 years of like, man, I kind of wanted it to be done. You know, it's time to maybe move on to the next chapter, football-wise. Here's what Tom said on his Let's Go podcast. It pains her, talking about Giselle, to see me get hit out there. And she deserves what she needs from me as a husband, and my kids deserve what they need from me as a dad. I think it's closer than it's ever been to retiring. But I do think he comes back for one more year because he's talked about, I want to play to 45. I want to play to 45. And he can do that still at the highest level. And it still gives him a chance to say, you know what? I can give it one more shot to win my 8th. Go out on top. He said also he'd much rather play and lose than not play at all. So I think he plays one more year to play till he's 45, like he's talking. Playing to 45, playing to 45, playing to 45. And then I think he's done. But is he closer to retirement than ever before this offseason? Oh, without a doubt. I think he's closer to retiring than ever before. Now, if he came out in a month and a half, 2 months, and said, I'm retiring, I would not be surprised. I would not be shocked. I would applaud him, maybe cry a little bit, because I no longer going to watch him play. But, if he goes out the way he did, look, he fought to the end. He did what he's always done in his career. He's fought, not gave a fuck about anybody else. He goes out there and he plays. I wouldn't be disappointed. Look, 7 Super Bowls, 22 years, fucking leader in every category ever for quarterbacks. First ballot Hall of Famer, greatest of all. It's like those things. It's like if he retired, it wouldn't be boom. But I do think he comes back just to say 45, and he can still play. But the Bucs have a lot of changes too that could happen too. So he could look at how the team's made out and be like, oh, he may not be there. That guy's a free agent. So interesting to see. I think he's going to take time, just like with Aaron Rodgers. I think they're both going to take time and figure out what they're going to do. But I think Tom comes back, and I think Aaron Rodgers plays for a new team next year. He's given Green Bay, in his mind, too many chances. So now this has been a hot one, right, because of the Bills-Chiefs game. Does the overtime need to be fixed? I'd say yes, only in the playoffs. Listen to Dan Patrick this morning. I think Jim Nantz had it perfectly right when he was on Dan Patrick's. He said, only change it for the playoffs. He said the regular season works very well. He said the regular season overtime works, right? 10 minutes, first team, boom, it's done and over. It's the regular season. It's over, done and over. But he's talking about for the playoffs, he said in the overtime, give each team a possession. And then if there's still tied after that, then it's sudden death. Then it goes into regular, okay, boom, one gets the ball, you score, it's over. Next score wins, basically. I like that. Because, look, I get defense wins championships, but like Jim Nantz also said, then if you're the Chiefs, kick the ball off to the Bills and have your defense win it for you, right? Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. So I get defense wins championships. But I think in the playoffs, we should just at least allow people to get. And 3 years ago, I think it was 3-4 years ago, Chiefs were bitching that they never got a shot against Brady in the AFC Championship game. Oh, Brady got the ball first, blah, blah, blah. Now they ain't fucking saying that, are they? No. We only want rules to work when they're in our favor. So for it to work fully, we need to change some things. I do like just changing it for the playoffs, and I do like keeping the regular season overtime the same. I think there's been 11 postseason games or something like that, and it was 10-1. They seem to get the ball first. So, I mean, it is what it is. But the people that are like, oh, defense wins championships, then you fucking kick the ball off to the Bills, Chiefs, and have your defense fucking stop them. Right? It's like you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're going to get the ball, and you're going to go down and fucking score if you can. So, it's just one of those things where the game's not perfect, but to help the game out a little bit better, in those circumstances where that game was as crazy as it was, I think both teams should get a possession. No college overtime. I think college overtime works for college. NFL, it's a little different. Because 25 and then you start doing 2 point, that would be fucking weird. Each team a possession, still tied after that, sudden death, next score wins. I talked earlier about how the games were amazing this last week. The games this week will most likely not be as good as last week, but you never know. All 4 games ended with 3-point wins in the last seconds. 3 road win field goals, and then the overtime touchdown with the Bills Chiefs game where the Chiefs won it. Like I said, that was probably one of the best non-conference playoff games ever. It was a great game. One of those that we'll look at forever and be like, wow, great game. All right, moving on to this week's games. AFC title game, NFC title game. All the marbles are on the line. This is where fan bases' buttholes are puckered tight. You're excited, whatever. I haven't fucking felt this as Bears fans 2010, and we lost, so fuck it. I don't even know what this feels like, right? Who's going to make it to the Super Bowl? We have Bengals at Chiefs. Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. That's a 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff on CBS. Look, like I said, I keep doubting the Bengals. Bengals. I doubt them. I think they're here a little too early. Look, I think the Chiefs are just so fucking good. I know the Bengals beat them in, week 17? Well, that was the most bullshit win ever. A lot of fucking jumbo-humbo in the last few weeks. I'm going to go with Chiefs here. I just think Chiefs are too good. The Bengals aren't ready. That's basically what it is. That game's way easier to pick than the 49ers at Rams. Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. That is 6:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. The Rams have lost the last 6 to the 49ers. This is what's interesting. Do I believe the Rams have a better quarterback? Yes. Do I believe the Rams have a better coach? No. I think Kyle Shanahan's a better coach than McVay. But I think Stafford showed me a lot when he went down to kick the game-winning field goal, right? I mean, he goes to Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's amazing. But I was like, Stafford's going to choke this fucking thing away. And he didn't. Showed me a lot. This game's hard, man. It's hard for me to pick. My gut tells me 49ers, but my mind is like the Rams are the better team. They're on a mission. This one's hard. This is real hard. I'm going to go with the Rams. And now I know the championship game and the Super Bowl's never been played, and the team's never played both in the home, whatever the fuck it is, right? It's a weird stat. The Rams would have the Super Bowl at home in LA. They've had the NFC Championship at home in LA. But I just think the Rams will find a way to win over the 49ers. And I think they're kind of tired of hearing about the 49ers. Would I be shocked if the 49ers win? No. But I'm going to go Rams. It's just what my mind is telling me. It's like that's the more sustainable pick there. So what I'm guessing, what I'm picking, Chiefs, Rams, Super Bowl in LA in 3 weeks. Book it. I'm going to go with it. I don't give a shit. Going to go with it. Now, fucking wackier shit can happen. If the Bengals win this, I might fucking Super Bowl champs, right? I don't fucking know. But that's what I'm going with. Chiefs, Rams, Super Bowl. Book it. Thanks for watching.